Thank you. It is my honor to introduce my good friend and mentor, Cindy Morris. Cindy is the president of the Peoria Public Schools Foundation, and that is part of our Adopt a School program, our organization that runs it. I was, about a decade ago, really honored to be invited to become part of the team of the Peoria Public Schools Foundation. And I already knew Cindy from some committees we had been on, but I came to really understand what an incredibly effective leader she is, how insightful she is into the needs of students of Peoria Public Schools, and what an impactful and innovative person she is. She has taken the foundation, which was already a strong traditional foundation working in support of grants and scholarships for students in Peoria Public Schools, and really moved it into the direction of being an incredibly large and impactful opportunity to create change for our students. She has a mind for educational equity. She constantly has a heart for making sure that all children are getting the best that they can, whether that's educationally or with their basic needs. And she works tirelessly every day to make sure that those things happen for our kids. I am thrilled that she gets to speak with you today. I'm honored that I get to work with her every day, but she's going to come and talk a little bit about Adopt a School because we are very grateful for everything that Rotary North does for our Adopt a School program. So it's my pleasure to welcome Cindy Morris.
Well, good afternoon. I'd like to start off with, I'm going to start off with a drawing. I have a passion project. I am an avid baker. So I started selling cookies at the farmer's market this year. So I have a really nice bag of some good cookies and sweetbreads for someone here today. Does anyone have a birthday today or the closest birthday to today? There has to be one. Any August birthdays? July?
Mine's September 14th.
July what?
August 15th.
Oh, I think, is anyone?
Jim, what's yours? I thought someone else was.
September 19th.
I'm September 14th.
Oh. I think Kelly. There you go. Again, my name is Cindy Morris, and I manage the Peoria Public Schools Foundation. I do so humbly. It's been a wonderful, since 2009, working in the school district. Thank you so much for having us here to speak today. I think Trish mentioned earlier to the staff, but I wanted to again, because we have a small but mighty team. Again, Jen Adler is our administrative director. I always call her the glue that holds us all together. She's one of the best multitaskers I've ever known. Worked with a lot of people over the years, and she has her hands in a lot of different areas for us. We have Sarah Oakford, who is our Adopt a School coordinator, and this is her 7th year. So I'll talk about the Adopt a School program, and she will be a resource and who you would contact to support further. And then there's Trish. Wow, what a nice welcome to me. We have been working together for a long time, but it is good to like and love the people you work with, and I'm blessed every single day with that. I'd also like to recognize Dan Adler, who is now one of our board members at the PPS Foundation. Many of you know his work as a Board of Education member, but we're lucky he rolled off and then came on our board. So a little bit about meeting basic needs. That's the big thing, and I'd say the most prevalent thing in the last 10 years for the foundation, just really getting out there and working a lot with food insecurity through our Little Free Pantries. We have 26 boxes at our schools. Snack packs are very big as well. Our hygiene items, and that's important as well. School supplies and uniforms. These are things that in the last 10 years we just get more and more asks and requests in the community and from our families.
That's just a cute picture.
Just a cute picture of our
That's
kids.
Roosevelt though.
Roosevelt pictures.
More cute pictures.
More cute pictures. So, in the last year with the pandemic, we've been out there really actively raising money for these basic needs support items. And over the last year, we've almost reached $100,000 just for the basic need and food insecurity in our school district. So that's through private and family foundation grants. And we've had just a major shift in focus in the last year on that. Adopt a School. So Adopt a School started, there's Mr. Dan Adler. He made that pantry at his home. We were running short, so he made that. The Adopt a School program started in 1984. So it's been around for 37 years. It's pretty remarkable. And when it started, it really had the focus of mentoring and tutoring. It had a focus of in-kind support to our schools, and then financial support. But again, those things are all still where the program is. But I would say in the last 10 years, there's a big shift with the basic needs support for our students. Yeah. The newer things that we're doing with Adopt a School, and again, Sarah Oakford is coordinating this effort, is making the grade conferencing. And what that is, the superintendent, Dr. Karat, when she was the principal at Manual, she believed in really supporting our students with their educational pathway. And that is, looking at a report card or progress report and just talking to a student about that. And she found that a lot of the students weren't getting that support at home. So when she started and as a superintendent in the school district, she asked the foundation to coordinate and oversee it, the making the grade. And we did so as a pilot. We find that a lot of the work that we do, the best way to start is through test and error. And we're still doing that. It's very effective for our students to get that one-on-one interaction with an adult. So that's something that, as an organization, are you doing that with Roosevelt? So that's definitely something to consider, that support too. We're not in Roosevelt with making the grade right now. Okay, one time. Right. So it's a real effective way to support students. Another new way with the Adopt a School program, we're touching our community, and it's an idea that came about from another public school foundation, is the principal experience. And it's really connecting businesses or people to a school. So they are, for a day, they will become the principal and work closely with the principal. Again, we are piloting it this school year. And we are doing that in 3 schools. We're doing it at Manual, Harrison, no. Harrison, Lincoln, and Richwoods. So we picked 3 schools, and that's kind of a new way to engage in the community and really pull people together. Again, I wanted to thank the Rotary North. I know when I started in the school district in 2009 as a district employee and the coordinator of the program, I always knew after going around to the schools and meeting with partners that there were 2 that were the best partners, and it was churches and service organizations. And you probably know why, but people in the community know that you have a heart for service work. Sometimes, businesses and organizations, there's a reason they're partnering, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think the more partners we have, the better. But with service organizations and churches, we know it comes from the heart. So thank you for that. Kind of circling back to, with the foundation, we have been around for many, many years, since 1998. And we started with the traditional ways, like Trish said, with grants for teachers, scholarships for students. These programs are really special too. And Trish, I think it was a cohort for us to start a program called Our Horizons, and that was 9 years ago. It's a career and college readiness program, basically a lunch and learn, but we bring in career professionals to talk to our students, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And I'm very passionate about that. I know Trish is. We've grown significantly from 3 schools to all the middle schools, and then the See It, Be It, which is the primary students as well. So that's another way that, with Trish being a member of your organization, we're back with the students this school year, and we would love for any of you to come and talk about, even if you're retired, what your career path was. This is important work for our kids to see, something they don't know about. So again, that's really, really important. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'll end with that. Let's see. Yeah, and thank you. I know you're partnered with Roosevelt, and then with the Educational Center at Wildlife Prairie Park. I know talking to principals over the years, whenever they get a Rotary Club, they just feel like it's a lottery, which it is, because you just, you give so much and you do so much for the school. So truly, thank you for that. I wanted to tell you a story. This little note here, I have the fortune of traveling around to the schools each year with the superintendent. It's probably one of my favorite things to do, because we get to go to every school, get to see the students, the teachers, everyone. And this was at the end of the school year. And this is also during the pandemic, but there's some that I just sit in the car and wait for her. If we're running, we have 27 schools in one day, so it's a real, it's a very fast-paced day. But I pulled up in front of Treewind School, and their little free pantry is right by their entrance. And I was sitting in the car. I said, Dr. Karat, you got 10 minutes. And she ran in, and I'm sitting there right in front of the school, right in front of a little free pantry. And I see this lady walking up the entryway to the school, and she looked like maybe a grandparent. I shouldn't assume that. It could have been a parent, but it looked like a grandma. And I was like wondering if she was going to school, but she went right to the little free pantry, and she didn't get any food. I thought she was going to get some food, or I didn't know what she was going to do. But she put something in the box, and I watched her leave and just go back home. And I was like, was there 10 minutes at that time, at that day? And I go up, and that's what I see in the little box. And I literally about started crying. And I told the superintendent when she came out 10 minutes later, I said, and I truly believe in God moments, where, there's a reason things happen. And our fund was low, and I'm like, we have to keep this work up. This is super important for our families. But a lot of times you don't think people appreciate if they don't thank you or you don't know, but that was just a random thank you note in our little free pantry box at Treewood School. So it's an important work that we do for sure. I don't know if anyone has any questions about our work. I'd like to ask you to, if you're on Facebook, like our Facebook page. Jen or Trish can get you on our e-newsletter to find out even more work that we do. We do a lot, but I appreciate so much your time and letting me tell you about a little bit more about the foundation, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Anybody got any questions?
What is the annual, I guess maybe deficit or need when you're talking about the food insecurities and the uniforms and everything that you do? What is that goal to meet 100% of the students' needs?
If you're asking about uniforms, I can tell you that K through 8 students are required to wear uniforms, and we raise about $15,000 a year to stock new uniforms, and it's available to every student that needs it. And we get requests through the school office, through teachers and counselors, but we expend that money every single year. Food, this year we spent close to $100,000 on that supplemental food. It was a unique situation where, families were home, and, so I think more than usual, but in a typical year, it's probably around $25,000 or $30,000 on that supplemental food that we support.
I don't really have a question, but you probably know what I'm going to say.
About your dad.
My dad.
Yeah.
My dad, Bob Rice, he was general manager at WRU TV, was WHOI now, but WRU. Went to a conference and brought back the Adopt a School program to this community. So I'm so proud of that. And since he's moved back, he has met with Cindy and his staff, and it just kind of gives you a warm feeling to know that my dad had something to do with that.
So how big is your staff and what is your budget?
We have an annual operating budget of about $250,000 on a normal year. This last year, we had some pass-through funds for the school district. So it's really elevated this year, like, $500,000, but 200,000 of that went directly to rapid COVID testing for a specific donation. We do have a small staff. We have, I would say Trish, Sarah, and Jen and I are the core staff, and then Trish with her Horizons. It's a very, very part-time person that she has. They're actually Bradley students that work. She has 3 that work as career tech advocates. So I always say we're a mid-sized nonprofit organization. We do really well with family foundation grants and then the private donations. It is based on dollars, but I say a lot of the work that we do isn't even, I know for nonprofits, goal is to raise money and get it out, but I feel like our scope is so large because we do so much directly with the school district. And, that's a very large annual budget, and we are on our own budget, our own fundraising, our own work. So we do a big golf outing every year. And actually, Dan Adler is going to be the chair of the 2022 golf outing. And then we have, Cheryl's going to be excited about this. Does anyone know Cheryl Sanphilip? Yeah, so Cheryl is our 365 breakfast chair. We do a big breakfast in January. It will be a drive-through with the pandemic. So those are our two main ones. And then we do, Junction City does a wine and whiskey walk, and we're the charity partner, so we get money off of that. Dan Adler, he is incredible. He's one of the best Board of Education members I've ever known and worked with. But, his 5 years of service, he immediately got in and created his own fundraiser, which I thought was so neat. It's a mini pub golf outing. So this will be the third year, Dan, or fourth year. So he raises money specific for the athletic programs in the schools. So those are kind of the main fundraising events we do. Again, if you'd like to connect with us more, you can go to our webpage at www.ppsfoundation.org, or please like our foundation Facebook page. And again, thanks for letting me talk about the foundation.